The death of Elvis Presley shocked the world, but what came after was even more disturbing. When the king of rock and roll was found lifeless in his Graceland mansion on August 16, 1977, millions mourned a legend they thought they knew. But the truth hidden inside his postmortem report told a much darker story, one that the public was never meant to hear. Behind the headlines, behind the heartbreak, were shocking details that painted a picture of a man who had been slowly dying long before his final day. Elvis was only 42, yet his body told a different story. When doctors examined him, they were stunned. His health, they discovered, was that of an elderly man. Years of fame, pressure, and addiction had quietly destroyed the body of the man the world worshipped. The autopsy revealed the devastating consequences of his lifestyle, the constant touring, the sleepless nights, and the heavy dependence on prescription drugs. It was as if every piece of his body carried the scars of his fame. The pathologists who examined him couldn't believe what they saw. His liver was enlarged and damaged, his colon was nearly twice the size of a normal one, and his heart was swollen. Despite his young age, he had advanced cardiovascular disease, something rarely seen in someone under 50. But the most shocking discovery was not just what they found, it was what they were told to keep quiet. In the official report, the cause of death was listed as cardiac arrhythmia, meaning his heart simply stopped beating. But those who worked on the case said there was more to it. They claimed Elvis's system was overloaded with a dangerous cocktail of prescription drugs. Some were painkillers, others were sedatives, and some were meant to keep him awake. Together, they formed a deadly combination. It wasn't one pill that killed Elvis, it was the years of dependency that had finally caught up with him. The doctors who knew Elvis in his final years had seen the warning signs. He was bloated, his skin pale, his eyes tired. Yet his fame wouldn't allow him to rest. Every time he tried to step back, his fans, his management, and even his own sense of duty pushed him back onto the stage. He lived for his audience, but that devotion cost him his life. Inside Graceland, Elvis's world had become isolated. The man who once had the world at his feet now spent his days surrounded by pills and doctors. His private nurse, his bodyguards, and even his close friends had tried to help, but no one could say no to the king. They feared upsetting him, feared losing their jobs, and so the cycle continued. By the time of his death, Elvis was reportedly taking more than 10 different medications daily. The postmortem report described in detail the state of his internal organs. His colon was impacted with stool, a result of years of severe constipation caused by the very drugs he relied on. His heart, enlarged and burdened, showed signs of long-term hypertension. His arteries were hardened, his liver fatty, and his body was holding massive amounts of fluid. It was the anatomy of a man far older than 42. But what truly shocked investigators was how quickly the results were sealed. Within hours of the autopsy, Elvis's father, Vernon Presley, requested that the full findings be kept confidential. He said it was to protect Elvis's dignity, but many believed it was to hide just how far his son had fallen. For years, rumors spread, some said the autopsy revealed traces of illegal drugs, others claimed it showed something far worse. The truth was buried under layers of secrecy and grief. When the toxicology results came in, they painted a tragic picture. Elvis had 14 different drugs in his system. High levels of codeine, methaqualone, and Valium were found in his blood. Some of the drugs were prescribed for legitimate health issues, but many were unnecessary. His personal doctor, George Nichopoulos, known as Dr. Nick, had reportedly given Elvis more than 10,000 doses of prescription medication in just a few months. It was a level of medical negligence that would later lead to a full investigation. Elvis had become a prisoner of his fame and his pain. His health had been declining for years, but he kept performing, kept smiling, and kept pretending that everything was fine. He had multiple health issues, glaucoma, high blood pressure, liver problems, and severe insomnia. Each problem was treated with more pills, creating a dangerous chain reaction inside his body. By 1977, his system could no longer handle it. Those close to him said they had seen his decline but felt powerless to stop it. Priscilla Presley, his former wife, later said that Elvis's life was not one of rebellion or recklessness, it was one of exhaustion. He was tired of being Elvis Presley. Every moment of his life had been controlled, by the music industry, by fame, by expectations. The man who once changed the world with his voice was now drowning in silence. The postmortem report also revealed something haunting. Elvis's body weight at the time of death was around 350 pounds. The king, who once moved across the stage with effortless energy, had become a shadow of himself. His diet had become erratic, often consisting of greasy, heavy foods that worsened his condition. But more than the physical damage, it was the emotional toll that destroyed him from within. In private, Elvis struggled deeply with loneliness. Despite being surrounded by people, he often felt isolated. Fame had taken away his privacy, his trust, and even his sense of reality. The postmortem may have revealed the physical cause of death, but those who knew him believed the true cause was heartbreak. Heartbreak from living a life that never truly belonged to him. When the news of his death spread, fans flooded Graceland, crying and holding each other as if they'd lost a family member. But few knew that behind the scenes, doctors and officials were debating how much of the truth to share. The Presley family insisted on controlling the narrative, and the official statement remained simple: Elvis died of heart failure. The world accepted it, even though whispers of a darker truth never stopped. Over the next few years, pieces of the truth began to emerge. Court cases, medical testimonies, and leaked reports started revealing what really happened inside Graceland that day. The king hadn't simply fallen victim to fate, he had been destroyed by years of medical mismanagement and emotional exhaustion. Elvis Presley's death wasn't an accident. It was a slow, painful decline that no one had the courage to stop. Years after Elvis's passing, the mystery around his post-mortem report continued to grow. Fans wanted answers, the media demanded clarity, and the Presley family fought to keep the full report sealed. But in 1994, nearly 2 decades later, parts of the report were quietly unsealed, and what came out reignited the controversy. The newly revealed information confirmed what many had long suspected: Elvis had been addicted to prescription drugs for years. The report detailed his heavy use of painkillers, tranquilizers, and sleep medications, all prescribed by his personal doctor. The level of dependency described in those pages was heartbreaking. The king of rock and roll had been reduced to relying on pills just to get through the day. Dr. George Nichopoulos faced multiple charges after the autopsy results became public. He was accused of overprescribing medications and ignoring the dangers of Elvis's growing dependency. In court, he defended himself, saying Elvis had insisted on the drugs and that denying him would have meant losing him as a patient. But many believed that Dr. Nick cared more about pleasing Elvis than saving him. Elvis's stepbrother, David Stanley, later claimed that he had personally seen Elvis take handfuls of pills at a time. He said that Elvis's bedroom looked more like a pharmacy than a home. There were bottles everywhere, painkillers, sedatives, sleeping pills, and stimulants. It had become normal, even routine. No one dared to question it anymore. The postmortem findings also revealed that Elvis's body had been deteriorating for far longer than anyone realized. His heart disease had advanced to a dangerous level. His arteries were nearly blocked, and his liver was enlarged and fatty. The colon impaction, which had shocked doctors, showed that his digestive system had been failing for years. These weren't sudden problems, they were the result of long-term abuse, both chemical and emotional. Friends recalled that Elvis's moods had become unpredictable in his final months. He would be loving and playful one moment, then withdrawn and angry the next. Some thought it was stress, but the report later confirmed that many of those mood swings were side effects of the drugs. His body and mind were trapped in a cycle of dependence, each pill creating the need for another. What made the truth even more tragic was that Elvis had been planning a comeback. He was preparing for another tour and talking about recording new music. He had moments of clarity when he swore to his inner circle that he was going to get clean. He wanted to be healthy again. But his body couldn't handle the years of abuse. The damage was already done. When the coroner's report resurfaced, fans were divided. Some refused to believe it. They said Elvis had been a victim of betrayal, that people around him had failed to protect him. Others accepted the harsh truth, that fame had destroyed him from the inside. But everyone agreed on one thing: the world had lost a man who gave everything, including his health, for his music.